Hey everybody, I'm John Finn, and welcome to an unboxing and review. Yes, we're back to actual unboxings because I have a really exciting couple of things that I want to get open and review. Let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and introduce who we're going to be unboxing today, and we've got Roboto from the Masters of the Universe Origins line, and She-Ra, She-Ra. All right, so these went up for pre-order earlier this year on Big Bad Toy Store, and they were slated to release in October of this year. They shipped a little bit later than that, early November 2022. These are apparently manufactured back in 21, it looks like anyway. Mattel kind of starting to sort out some of those distribution woes. But I'm really excited to get these because one, or two, I've really wanted in my collection, but I haven't been willing to pay $70 for them. And two, they are the American card it released. Now, I don't have any problem with international versions, but the reason I'm excited for these is because the mini comics actually have text in them, whereas the international versions just have the art. And it's beautiful art. I love the art. But it's super exciting that we'll be able to read the stories once we get to that and everything. But let's go ahead and let's take a look at the packaging on these. You've already seen the front. It's the same as the basic Origins. It's got that red meteor burst on it and the Masters of the Universe logo and the name and description of them. And on the back, you get the cross-sell, where you can see it's got, of course, He-Man and Skeletor as usual, but She-Ra, Zodak, Merman, and Roboto. I already have Zodak in Origins. I don't have this version of Merman. I do have the Lords of Power version, which I do prefer, but I would like to get my hands on the OG Merman as well. So we'll see how that goes if I ever decide to pop out the money for it. And then we take a look at the art here on the back, and you can see Roboto there. He looks like going after Triclops. Now that's one I really want them to re-release is Triclops. That's like one of my holy grails for this collection. I really want a Triclops figure super bad. But you can see him there zapping there, and Triclops freaking out. Oh my gosh, no, he's so scary. Oh, and you got Cobra Khan here in the background. That's cool. Man, it's taken a while to get him from back in 21. We're finally going to get him. I think we're getting him right now is when he's starting to hit stores. At least that's what I've been seeing with people. These are unpunched cards, as you can see. So it's a little bit of a downer to open them, but it really isn't, let's be honest. Now let's take a quick look at the She-Ra. And of course, it's got the same cross-sell on the back as with Roboto because they are from the same wave. And the artwork is amazing. It's got the cool statue from the unreleased playset prototype from back in the 80s. You've got She-Ra here with her tiara and her shield and sword. Now, if I remember correctly, in the original series, the sword would actually turn into different things like a shield and stuff like that. I do prefer that she has separate things instead of the sword always not being used as a sword, which was a thing back in the old series, though. I mean, I don't even know if He-Man ever used the Sword of Power as a sword in the original series. I'm going to be doing a retrospective review here soon, so we'll see if that's true or not, but he doesn't use it very often, I know that. Yeah, you got Hordak there from the Evil Horde with his Mosquitor in the background getting ready to attack, and Mosquitor is one of my all-time favorite Origins figures. It's just a solid, well-built figure with an awesome play feature with that blood-pumping action. And you can see here on the back, it's got the play features for this girl. You can actually turn the tiara upside down into a mask, which is pretty friggin' awesome, and then you can pose her into powerful positions. Now, with Roboto, you do actually get a bit of an action feature where if you twist his waist, the mouth will open and close, and the gears inside of his chest will turn and things like that. I don't mind that kind of action feature as much because it doesn't really affect the posability of the figure like, say, Flying Fist He-Man does. And I understand the people that like the action features. I totally get it. I'm not mad that they have action features. That's just not for me. You know what I mean? All right, so who are we going to open first? Let's open Roboto first because I'm super excited about the She-Ra most of all. So let's save her for last and let's get Mr. Roboto open. All right, we're going to do it old school. You ready? Oh, it pooped. Comes right out, rips super easy. Let's get rid of that carnage there. He is tied in with those damn pesky rubber bands you can see around the arms and around the legs. I'm just going to cut those real quick with my little hobby knife. Boop. And boop. All right, so those are done. His accessory bag is attached to the back of the inner bubble. We'll go ahead and get that bad boy open. It's one of those little bags where they wrap the tape around it, so it's a real booger to get open. So we're going to use a knife. There we go. All right, come on to daddy. Come to daddy. My cat's probably freaking out because that's how I say they talk. All right, so you got the gun here. Cool. I mean, it looks awesome. It's got kind of that marbled look that we've seen in a lot of the toys recently, and you've got his kind of claw thing here. Good detail. It's awesome. I like it. We're going to put those aside for now, and we're going to get Mr. Roboto out of his package, and we're going to take a quick look at the mini comic that it comes with, Dimensions of Doom. I think we kind of covered this when we did the Zodak unboxing, but you can see it's got a full story inside. It's about 4 pages long. A lot of great artwork. I'm super excited to go through this again and reread it again. I'm not going to do it right now because obviously I'm a little busy, but here's Roboto out of the package. Great detail inside. You can see all the gears in there. He's got some great sculpt here on the arms. I mean, some really great sculpt. You can see individual wires and cables and paneling. And we see his other arm is the same way with more detail. Let's get rid of that thing there. We come down. He's got a good solid crotch piece. I would have liked a little bit more color in that. That's just a really, really, really tiny gripe, but just so you know, I did notice it. He's got some nice, vibrant colors on him. The boots are the same kind of finish as the weapons are, and as his helmet is. He's got the blue eye thing there, and he's got, of course, the mouthpiece. Now let's see if the action feature works. Yeah, it does. Look at him. And you can see inside, you can actually see the action feature working, especially if you look at the back. You can see how it hits this little knob inside, which kind of flicks the mouth open and closed. Let's see if you can see it there. There it is. There must be a spring in there pushing it back down, and you can just twist it all the way around and it'll go. And all the gears are apart. You know, they're all working with it. That's just really cool. It's kind of practical. Yeah, I love that. I love that. He's got the same articulation as the rest of the Origins line, which is shoulders, elbows. He's got wrist swivel. He's got weapon swivel. He even has head swivel. Even though he has that action feature, you still can turn the head, and I love that. The action feature doesn't really impact the posing at all. Now let's take a quick look at his modular instructions too. Oh, and guess what? It doesn't affect his modularity at all either. You can take off both of the arms. You can take off the feet at the shin. You can take off the legs at the waist. You can't take off the head. That's the one thing that is affected. So I guess I shouldn't say it isn't affected at all. It is affected a little bit. I thought the arms might be affected, but they're not. They come right out real easy, no big deal. So you can still do all your fun kit bashing and make new characters and stuff like that with this guy if you were able to get him. He does come with the axe equipped on his right hand, comes off super easy, and I'm going to put the gun on just because I love the guns on these guys. Yeah, look at that, Roboto. This is cool. I dig this. The carapace, the torso part is just so clear and crystalline. It's a little bit funky to see the arm joints right there because they're just kind of stuck in there kind of angularly. And they kind of stick out. But other than that, I mean, this is beautiful. The colors are bright. The action feature works fantastically. You can see how it works, which is kind of cool. I always like when you can see how something works. And then the weapons come out super easy, go in the slot, and you've got the new thing attached. That's awesome. You can't ask for anything more, I think, when it comes to an Origins Roboto figure. So glad that I was able to get my hands on this guy. I've got so many story ideas with him, especially involving space sumo and jitsu. But yeah, this is cool. I dig it. If you were able to get him for retail, it's a no-brainer. Absolutely get Roboto. He's a cool guy. And I'd probably pay twice retail for this one just because it has a cool action feature that doesn't really affect the posing at all. It has some cool accessories that change out super easily. He still has a large degree of modularity with his arms and his legs and stuff of that nature. So yeah, if you're a Roboto guy, definitely pick him up. I love it. Did it ever move in the cartoon? I don't think it did. I think it just kind of sat there, but who gives a shit? Okay, now on to the main event. Whoa! She-Ra. I remember getting the original She-Ra, the Christmas that they came out, because my brother and I were huge Masters of the Universe fans. So when they announced She-Ra, we were like, hell yeah, more He-Man related stuff. We're on board. We've always been that kind of fanboy for our hardcore fans of whatever we're fans of. We love it. We always just love getting more of that stuff. And we don't really let the critics get in our way or what people thought of whether it was for boys or for girls. So we love She-Ra. We love the Star Wars prequels. We love the Star Wars sequels. We just love the stuff that we're into. We don't really try to judge it too much because it's just giving us more fun, detachment to get into. But let's go ahead and let's get this lovely lady open, and I'll tell you a story about that Christmas as we do that. All right, first, let's open her up. All right, take out the mini comic. It is the same mini comic that came with Roboto and Zodak, so we're just going to set that completely aside. We're going to take her out of this inner bubble here. If we can, there we go. We're going to take this carnage and we're just going to toss it. Okay, how is she secured in here? It looks like, okay, there are 2 rubber bands. There's one here. And then there's one under her cape for her legs there, and her cape is secured in here with tape. McFarlane Toys, take note. Do not put those plastic ties through your capes. Tape them in if you got to do anything, but putting in the plastic ties through them, no, that's not okay, bro. Okay. Get my cutting knife here. And we, almost cut her cape. All right, so her accessory bag came off on that one. I got to be careful on this one because the cape is kind of in the way. And we will cut that. Good. All right, and let's get her cape untaped from the inside here. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a challenge because of her hair. Her hair is massive. And you see it's kind of slotted in there, so I'm going to have to kind of pull and lift. There we go. Okay, she came out pretty easily. And we'll take the tape off of her cape. Comes off pretty easily. Take off those rubber bands. And here she is in all of her glory. Man, she looks cool. We're going to come back to her in a hot minute. Let's get her accessory bag open here. Same thing as with Roboto. Just way too sealed up. I don't understand why they use all this plastic. I really like what Hasbro's doing with the Marvel Legends. Yeah, it's kind of weird not being able to see the figure in the package, but man, less plastic is so much better. Just so much better for everyone. I dropped her sword, BRB, and we're back. All right, her sword and her shield, these are pretty cool. They're solid. Sword's a lot smaller than the He-Man Sword of Power, but it is the Sword of Protection. Ooh, it's a little crooked there. That's okay. Good. Look at this sexy lady. Oh my goodness. The sparkles on her tiara, on her little belt sash thing, the sheer fabric that's on the belt, the sheer fabric that's on the cape, the cloth cape, the soft goods cape. Why on earth didn't they stick with soft goods for the entire line? I just don't understand that. That was very frustrating. I do see a little bit, looks like of a painting error, a manufacturing error here on the back of her head. Right there, some of the plastic looks like it's been scuffed up a bit. That's not that big of a deal for me, but if you're a hardcore collector, that might bother you. But her hair is beautiful. I mean, that's probably the best looking hair I've seen on a Revelations figure. And her makeup looks good. Her face looks good. I like the overall design of the figure. Let's see if we can get these accessories into her hands. Yas. Sword was easy. Oh, and the shield. I like the shield a lot better than the ones that come with the men. It's an actual handle on it. Yeah, so she holds everything super easy. The mask, of course, the tiara can come off and turn over and go on her face as a mask. Works super easy. Don't really have to force it. It just kind of goes right on. Yeah, that's sick. I'm going to take that off and set it aside for now. Or maybe I'll wear it as a ring. Sorry. This is cool, though. If we look underneath, it looks like... Yeah, the belt is like permanently attached to her. It doesn't come off, and it looks like the sheer fabric is underneath that as well. So you want to make sure you maybe keep this out of the hands of kids and keep it away from pets, because it's a very, very thin and delicate fabric, so it could probably rip very easily. So keep that in mind. She does have the good knees. She's got the knees that come with all the male figures, not the weird, just kind of amorphous line that came with some of the earlier female figures. And I really like the gold finish on her as well. I wish they would have gone with something more like this for the Tila and Zor 2-pack. Instead, they went with a much more yellowish finish, which is fine. I'm still going to get that eventually, but the original images for it were very golden, and I was really hoping for that in the final figure. But she looks sick. She looks awesome. She looks like she can hold her own in a fight. She doesn't have any action features or anything like that. She does have the modularity of all the rest of the series. We'll take a quick gander at that just so you can see. And you can see her head, her arms, her legs at the waist, her hands, and her feet at the boot cut will all come off. She has the same articulation as the rest of the Origins line, which means shoulder, arm, elbow, wrist swivel, and tilt. She can swivel at the waist, she can bend at the knees, her legs can go forward and back, up and down, and she also has a boot cut and the ball joint, or the kind of swivel ball joint on the ankle. The boot cut, let me see. Yeah, the boot cut, like, that's kind of cool. It because usually when they have a boot cut, the boot is straight across, but this one's actually has got like a divot in it, so the whole boot does work around the leg, and I think that's a really nice touch. I dig that quite a bit. It means the boots are kind of their own thing. If we pop her head off real quick, pop her legs off. Maybe if I do it by the hair. Don't tell my wife. There we go. Okay, yeah, so if we pop her head off, we can see her cape is actually wrapped around her arms. Almost like a little jacket, so it will come off. I'm not going to take it off because it looks like it might be a little bit difficult to get it back on the way it is, but you can see there the way it wraps around her back. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's kind of tied up in the back here. See, I'll probably never take that off of her unless I get a second one, which I doubt's ever going to happen, just because it looks like it's a little bit testy to get back on. It's got some nice rufflage going on there to kind of give it some shape and volume at the shoulders as well. Let's put Miss She-Ra back together again. Oh, God. Whew. That ball joint on her head is tough. It's very, very tight fit. Yeah, that's She-Ra from the Origins line. She looks amazing. She's really cool. She's a beautiful figure. She's got a great face sculpt, some great sculpt details in her armor, in her weapons. And I'm like 99% sure that her shield and sword were the same item in the original TV show. And the reason I'm saying that is because of the little jewel in them. That's what I remember that from back then. So I remember when we did get these, we also got Swiftwind as well at the same time. And there's a video somewhere of this, and as soon as I find it, I will definitely be posting it. Because I've been converting all of our old VHS tapes from when we were kids into digital stuff. And so this particular Christmas, and we filmed all the Christmases when we were kids, my dad did, on VHS. And my brother, he's got She-Ra's, woo, and she falls off. And he goes, She-Ra's falling, She-Ra's falling. And he looks down and sees her on the ground. He goes, She-Ra fell. So I'm going to find that. I'm going to post that to embarrass him because he's a doctor now and a dad. So I think that would be hilarious to put on the internet. But yeah, She-Ra, boom. Roboto, boom. Super sick. Super excited. I am over the moon with these figures. I'm so glad they finally came in. These are my last pre-orders from the year. So this might be my last real review for the year. There might be one here or there that I'll throw out there if I just kind of pick something up on a whim. But with Christmas coming up, I've got to kind of push back my buying, both because I'll need the money to buy presents for other people, and people will probably be buying me some of these for Christmas. So yeah, that is what it is. But beginning of the year, I'm going to have a ton, hopefully, of new stuff to go over, to review, and to talk about. I'm also hoping, cross your fingers, to start the retrospective review next year of starting with the original Masters of the Universe Filmation series. So stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for helping me reach 250 subscribers this year. I didn't think I was going to make it, but we have. We've crested that. I am so thankful and excited. I think for next year, we're going to try and double it. We're trying to get up to 500. So if you've enjoyed this, if you've enjoyed my other content, please please subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see more of, and we'll do our best to do that. And I just really appreciate you for watching this. And until next time, I'm John Finn, and I'm out.